Hello viewers, I am your host Uzma Jafri with another episode of South Asia Focus. We begin the show with India becoming a full member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the two-day summit at Astana in Kazakhstan and held bilateral and delegation level talks with leaders of the member nations. We have a report.
India and Pakistan have become members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a Eurasian political, economic and military bloc which was founded jointly by China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan in 2001. With the SCO, India will look to join a key international high table where it can bring forth matters of its concern such as terrorism and trade. Besides, it will also gain better access to Central Asia region. In his address, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi raised concerns over rising threat of terrorism and radicalization.
आतंकवाद मानव अधिकारों तथा मानव मूल्यों के सबसे बड़े उल्लंघनकारियों में से एक है। अतः आतंकवाद तथा अतिवाद के खिलाफ संघर्ष एससीओ के सहयोग का अहम भाग है। मुद्दा चाहे रेडिकलाइजेशन का हो, टेररिस्ट की रिक्रूटमेंट का, उनकी ट्रेनिंग का अथवा फाइनेंसिंग का।
On the sidelines of SCO summit, the Indian Prime Minister also met Chinese President Xi Jinping amid a sharp downturn in the ties between the nuclear-armed Asian giants. President Xi said China attaches great importance to its ties with India. He called for more high-level interactions, institutionalized exchanges, strategic communication and policy alignment between the two countries.
The broad thrust of it was that at a time of global uncertainty, India-China relations are a factor of stability. And as the world becomes more multipolar, it was important for India and China to work together more closely. I think there was also an understanding that where we have differences, it was important that differences should not become disputes, and in fact, if they were handled well, could even be opportunities.
Amid high tensions over cross-border terrorism, the Indian Prime Minister briefly met his Pakistani counterpart Nawaz Sharif after a gap of 17 months. Experts believe after becoming member of SCO, India and Pakistan will have more pressure to resolve bilateral issues.
Obviously, there is an international nudge both on India and on Pakistan too, and Afghanistan to sort of make up, and also the question of Europe, which China is promoting. So all these things get tied together. There certainly would be international persuasion, if I might put it in India's case, to talk to Pakistan. But the fact remains that unless terror is controlled, talks can't go forward.
With India and Pakistan joining the SCO, the bloc will represent over 40% of the world's population and nearly 20% of its GDP.
Moving on, we now talk about the unrelenting sufferings and pain of people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Here, the locals have been protesting against Pakistan's oppression and misrule and demanding justice for political prisoners languishing in Pakistani jails. We have a report.
Meet Babajan Hunzai, a leader of the Progressive Youth Front, who is booked under Section 780A of the Anti-Terrorism Act. Serving 40 years in jail since 2010, Babajan has been subjected to torture and unbearable conditions in prison. He is among many political activists in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan who are languishing in jails across Pakistan. Recently, the Jammu Kashmir Awami National Party raised anti-Pakistan slogans and held rallies in Rawalakot, Muzaffarabad, Kotli and other parts of the illegally occupied territory. The protesters raised the issue of illegal imprisonment of top political leaders like Babajan who have been jailed for many years for raising their voice against Pakistan. While addressing the gathering at Rawalakot Chowk, leader of the Kashmir Party highlighted the injustices being meted out to the people of the disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan.
आज भी वहाँ पे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के अंदर जब लोग अपने हुकूक के लिए बात करते हैं तो उनको एंटी टेररिस्ट एक्ट के तहत 40-40 साल की सजाएं दी जाती हैं। कॉमरेड बाबा जान, शायद सारे एनएसएस के दोस्तों को पता होगा कि कॉमरेड बाबा जान नेशनल स्टूडेंट फेडरेशन के कन्वेंशन में इसी रावलाकोट में आया था और यहाँ से जाने के बाद उसको इस जुर्म में गिरफ्तार कर लिया था कि तुम रियासत के लोगों को एक दूसरे से मिलाने की बात करते हो।
The activists of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan have been raising their concerns on international platforms, including the United Nations, and demanding an international intervention to seek justice. They demand Pakistan to vacate their territory and stop exploiting their resources.
Pakistan forcefully occupied these territories in 1947 and continues to colonize the region. To know more about the present situation, we are now joined by Mr. Jameel Maqsood, a political activist from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Mr. Jameel, can you tell our viewers about the human rights situation in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir?
In Pakistani-occupied Kashmir and in Gilgit-Baltistan, the ISI is suppressing all the reasonable voices, all the peaceful voices. Even in a couple of weeks ago, one man from district Kotli, POK, marched with one camel and 3 donkeys from Kotli to Muzaffarabad. And he had 38 demands, from providing free electricity to the inhabitants of POK to the development, and from the abolish of discriminatory laws to the inception of merit in the local jobs. But he was stopped. And after that, when nationalists coming forward to support, they were stopped by the Pakistani military in different pockets, in different places. So they do not allow people to peacefully demand their rights. So you can say that POK and Gilgit-Baltistan is a living cage in 21st century. It's a colony of Pakistan, which is run by the draconian laws.
What are the major issues concerning people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir?
It is their hypocrisy. That's very simple. They are hypocrite. They have double standard. They, in last 70 years, they even cannot construct, they even cannot establish a credible educational system, a credible health system, a credible development system. So their claims are fake, their claims are false, and their claims are just to be fool and the regional forces, to the world community and the civil society of the entire region. So there is nothing. They are only befooling.
Now, when Pakistan has allowed China to build an economic corridor in the territory, will the locals gain out of this project?
Of course not, because the China-Pakistan economic corridor is a direct investment of China into Pakistan, and so not the government of Pakistan, but the military of Pakistan is the major stakeholder in this billion-dollar project. And if the government of Pakistan is not directly benefiting, if the people of Pakistan are not directly benefiting out of this project, one can only dream that people of POK and Gilgit-Baltistan would have any share in this project. They are completely marginalized. They are completely deprived in this. Their land is used, their resources are used, but they are not given any opportunity to benefit out of this project.
Thank you, Mr. Jameel, for sharing your thoughts. Let's move to Nepal, where veteran politician Sher Bahadur Deuba was sworn in as country's new Prime Minister. This will be Deuba's 4th stint as Prime Minister of the Himalayan country, which has been facing many challenges, including the agitation in Terai region.
Sher Bahadur Deuba, President Bidya Bantari administered the oath of office and secrecy to 70-year-old Deuba as he replaced Prachanta, a former rebel commander, as Prime Minister after parliamentary vote. Sher Bahadur Deuba, who is also the president of the Nepali Congress, returned to power after 12 years after he was unceremoniously removed by then King Kyanendra Bir Vikram Shah. He has many challenges, including the completion of remaining phase of village and municipal polls set for June 28, leading to provincial and national elections before the end of the year. Deuba also has to maintain balance to Nepal's engagement with neighboring India and China.
I would like to strengthen our bilateral relations with India as well as with China.
Nepal has been facing political instability and protests since adopting a new constitution in 2015. Madhesh ethnic groups and other minorities have been demanding amendment in the constitution and have opposed elections. People in Nepal are still divided over holding second phase of local elections.
संविधानको कार्यान्वयन गर्न चाहिँ चुनाव हुनुपर्छ सबै प्रकारका चुनावहरू तोकिएको मितिमा हुनुपर्छ एक दोस्रो भनेको चाहिँ अब राष्ट्रिय गौरवका आयोजनाहरू फास्ट ट्र्याक र बुढी गण्डकी आयोजनाले चाहिँ लगायत अरू आयोजनाहरूले सम्पूर्ण आयोजनाहरूले पूर्णता पाउनुपर्छ
श्री शेर बहादुर देउबा जी अभी बने हैं तो इससे लगता है कि भारत और नेपाल की जो स्थिति है वो तो सामान्य रहेगी पहले से भी अभी अच्छा होगा पर मधेश की समस्या का समाधान होगा बोल करके इसका कोई गारंटी नहीं है क्योंकि 2/3 बहुमत जो है अभी की सरकार के पास भी नहीं होगा बिना केपी ओली जी की सहमति के संभव नहीं है.
Since 2015, the protests by Madhesh ethnic group left more than 50 people died and blockade at the border with India caused severe shortage of fuel, medicine and other supplies. The new Prime Minister will need to negotiate with these ethnic groups, which are threatening to protest against the elections unless their demand for more territory in the states is granted.
It is not going to be an easy ride for the new Prime Minister in Nepal. To speak more on this, we are now joined by Mr. Prateek Pradhan, a political analyst in Kathmandu. Mr. Prateek, will Mr. Deuba be able to cope with the challenges the Himalayan nation has been facing now?
He had the challenges to conduct the elections, the second phase of the local elections and provincial elections and the national election. So the federal election. So these the time frame is very, very tight. He has to do all these things in 9 months, which is not very easy for anybody. However, Deuba has shown some kind of grit. He has shown some kind of determination. He has been able to bring Maoists into the government. He has been able to do some of the things in coordination, in cooperation. So hopefully he will also manage to do it this time, and he will manage to erase his bad records, and he will emerge as a new and fresh Prime Minister this time.
Mr. Deuba is backed by minor majority. Will he be able to pass Constitution Amendment Bill and fulfill demands of the agitating Madhesi parties?
Interestingly, this time Sher Bahadur Deuba has almost about 2/3 majority, but still he is short of few seats, like 5 or 10 seats, which is pretty difficult for him to get. And if he becomes successful to amend the constitution, the things will change positively for him and the Madhesi parties. But it is not as easy to amend the constitution. We'll have to see, because that is the major question out here, whether he will be able to amend the constitution with the 2/3 majority or not. And all the political parties who are in favor of the amendment of the constitution, they have now backed Mr. Deuba. But still 2/3 majority has not reached. So we'll have to see. We just cannot say right away that he will be able to manage to garner 2/3 majority. It will take some time, and let's see how the politics unfold.
Thank you, Mr. Prateek, for your valuable perspective into the story. Moving on, global warming is a threat being faced by the international community. Today, we talk about India's efforts to generate awareness about growing environmental concerns from global warming. Take a look.
India is the third largest emitter of carbon dioxide in the world after only China and the United States. However, in per capita terms, it is the world's 120th most polluting country, placed between Anguilla and the Republic of Moldova. India is a signatory of the Paris Accord on climate change, and at least 40% of its total power generation will come from renewable sources by 2030. On World Environment Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi encouraged everyone to nurture a better planet and be committed to protecting our environment.
इस समय पूरी दुनिया में क्लाइमेट चेंज एक बड़ी चिंता का विषय बना हुआ है। आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए, भविष्य के लिए हमें अपने पर्यावरण को बचाना ही होगा। पिछले 3 वर्षों में पर्यावरण बचाने के लिए भारत ने जो कदम उठाए हैं, आज पूरी दुनिया में उसकी चर्चा हो रही है। दुनिया भारत की ओर देख रही है और इसलिए बहुत आवश्यक है कि देश के नौजवानों को पर्यावरण के संरक्षण के प्रति अपनी विरासत को बचाने के लिए जागरूक किया जाए।
On June 5, India launched a massive waste management campaign across 4,000 cities as part of Modi's efforts to clean up the country. The campaign Segregation at Source was launched by India's Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu in New Delhi. Tree plantation drives and rallies were held across major cities in India to spread awareness with the theme Connecting with Nature.
This is a day when we all have to pledge to make a strong movement against all that which disturbs, destroys our environment. We have to ensure that by making small amends in our lifestyles, we give to the future generations an ideal environment.
Climate change is happening due to global warming. Since 1880, the Earth's surface temperature has risen at an average pace of 0.07 degrees Celsius every decade. This has resulted in a net warming of 0.95 degrees Celsius as of now. Land temperatures have risen faster than those of the ocean. This will change by 2030 unless the world's nations cut their emissions.
This is high time for all of us to act and protect our environment. Moving on to Bangladesh, where the gloomy life of Rohingya refugees of Myanmar became miserable after cyclone Mora hit the coastal region of Bangladesh. There are scenes of destruction all around, and now affected refugees are finding it extremely difficult to return to normal state.
A massive storm with wind speed of up to 135 kilometers in the region battered the refugee camps of Balukhali and Katopalong in the southern area of Bangladesh, where thousands of Rohingya refugees have taken shelter after fleeing the persecution of Rohingya. Lives of refugees turned upside down in a matter of hours when the deadly cyclone Mora destroyed as many as 10,000 thatched huts, leaving people on streets. Some of them lost their lives, while several were left injured as flimsy structures fell directly over their bodies. People are left homeless with little option but to patch up their homes with everything down in ruins after the cyclone. The disaster came at a time when Muslims across the world are celebrating the holy month of Ramadan. Rohingya Muslims say the tough conditions in the devastated refugee camp is leaving them unable to mark the holy month in the usual way of fasting during the day and consuming large festive meals in the evening.
আমাদের মসজিদটা ভেঙে গেছে ঘূর্ণিঝড়ের কারণে আমরা নামাজ পড়তে পারতেছি না আর এই রমজানে তেহরি খাওয়ার জন্য আমাদের খুব অসুবিধা হচ্ছে আমাদের বাড়িঘর ভেঙে গেছে আমরা কোনো কিছু করতে পারতেছি না রাতে থাকতে পারতেছি না আমাদের যার কারণে আমাদের বাড়িঘর নিয়ে গেছে বাতাসে
During the month of Ramadan, believers abstain from eating and drinking from dawn to dusk. they eat a pre-dawn meal called suhur and then break their daylight-long fast with iftar, often a large meal with various items, starting with dates and ending with a variety of sweets. But people in these camps don't have even basic food to satiate the hunger, let alone the dates and sweets. These refugees fled Myanmar, fearing for their lives amid rising violence, and got a shelter in Bangladesh. However, hardships have further escalated after the cyclone, when they are left with no food and shelter.
There seems no end to the sufferings of Rohingyas, with loss caused by the cyclone adding to the woes. Moving on, now let's move to India, the land of diverse culture and festivals, where devout Hindus gathered at a shrine in Kashmir to celebrate annual Kheer Bhawani festival. We have a report.
Thousands of devotees flocked to a temple in Indian Kashmir to offer prayers on the occasion of Hindu festival of Kheer Bhawani. The festival is held annually on the 8th day of the lunar fortnight of Jyeshtha month in the Hindu almanac.
जो खीर भवानी माता का मेला जो यहाँ पर है आज, ये ज्येष्ठ अष्टमी को मनाया जाता है। इस बार माता का बर्थडे होता है, जन्मदिन होता है और यहाँ से भिन्न-भिन्न स्टेटों से यानी वर्ल्ड से भी लोग आते हैं। खास तौर पर जो यहाँ के हमारे अपने लोकल्स हैं, जो हमारे नेबर्स हैं, जो हमारे साथ-साथ रहते हैं, वो यहाँ पर ज्यादा आते हैं। मिलजुल के वही त्योहार हम मनाते हैं। आज भी वही रिवायत कायम है।
The color of the spring water changes occasionally. When black or darkish, it's believed to be an indication of inauspicious times for Kashmir. The festival encapsulates the tale of brotherhood among Hindus and Muslims. Most of the sellers of the prayer material in the temple premises practice Islam, but they pay obeisance to the goddess with equal faith and enthusiasm.
और यहाँ पर आकर देख रहे हैं कि तकरीबन जो हमारा सैकड़ों सालों से प्यार चल रहा था वो वैसे का वैसा ही है। वही हमारे मुसलमान भाई फिर दोबारा दूध दे रहे हैं, वैसे ही सारा सर्कल चल रहा है। कोई इतनी परेशानी यहाँ आकर नहीं है। बाकी मेन प्रशासन की तरफ से भी अच्छा इंतजाम हो रखा है। सिक्योरिटी का बहुत बढ़िया इंतजाम रहा है। आज तक शायद ऐसा सिक्योरिटी का इंतजाम कभी नहीं देखा।
A tradition of locals involves greeting the visitors and old friends with warm hugs. Muslim brethren make arrangements for puja and other rituals.
पूरी दुनिया में अगर आप हिंदू मुस्लिम की कहीं पे मिसाल देखेंगे तो वो आपको यहीं गांदरबल के तुलमुला इलाके में जहाँ पे खीर भवानी का टेम्पल है आपके सामने मिलेगी। यहाँ पे हिंदू मुस्लिम सब मिलजुल के आज यहाँ पे त्यौहार मना रहे हैं और सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है जो हमारी पंडित भाई यहाँ से जम्मू चले गए हैं, आज वो यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं और उनसे मुलाकात करके उनको यहाँ पे पानी पिला के जूस पिला के उनको यहाँ पे उनकी सहूलियत के लिए हमने हर कुछ सामान यहाँ पे मैसर रखा है और दिल खुश हो जाता है जब उनसे हम गले मिल जाते हैं। और ये जो आज का त्यौहार है मुझे लग रहा है ये हिंदू मुस्लिम आपसी इत्तेहाद का सबसे बड़ा एक गहवारा है यहाँ पे और हम इसको बड़ी नेक नीति के साथ और दिल से मिला के साथ इनको यहाँ पे मना रहे हैं।
There are many legends associated with the temple and the goddess. While some say the temple was demolished by the invaders and resurrected, others believe it was built in the late 19th century.
Kashmir has innumerable tourist destinations which attract hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. With that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye. Take care.